Hello everybody. I just wanted to come and do a couple of videos on the R's that you're doing and the S's that you're doing. And this is just if you need some reinforcement of if you're doing it right. Maybe you didn't quite catch how to do it from the notes video. So I wanted to give you something to kind of look at. So I'm going to start off with R2, which is find the constant of variation. And if you remember, we talked about the constant of variation being y is equal to k multiplied by x, where k is the constant, kind of like the slope. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go through maybe about 4 or 5 of these, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So the question 1 says, the graph shows how the total distance Leon walked depends on the number of trips he has made to school. So we see here on the x-axis is the number of trips, the y-axis is the total distance he's walked, and we're asked to find what is the constant of variation. So the best way to do this is to pick a point and just solve for k. So I'm going to pick, let's see, I think I'll pick, that one looks good, 50, 40. So we have our ordered pair of, 40, comma 50. So if I put, remember this is x and this is y, if I put this information inside of this formula, it's going to tell me what the constant of variation is. So y is 50, k, we don't know, x is 40. And if this looks weird to you, just rewrite it as 50 equals 40k. Divide by 40 on both sides of the equation. So that means that 40 divided by 40 is 1. So k would equal 50 divided by 40. Well, we can reduce each one of these by 10, so that would be 5 over 4. So our constant of variation would be 5 over 4. And if you look, if you count on the graph, we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So that actually works with our trip or our math. Yeah. So it says write your answer as a decimal or an integer. Well, to write this as a decimal, because we can't write it as an integer, because remember an integer is just one single positive or negative number. So we would take 4, divide it into 5. 4 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract, and that gives us 1. Well, we're not done. So because we're going to add a 0 here, we're also going to add a decimal. Add the 0, bring the 0 down. 4 goes into 10 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract. And now we're going to bring down another 0. So 4 into 20 is 5. So our answer in decimal form would be 1.25 equals k. So I'm going to put that in over here, 1.25. Look how super we are. The next question says, this graph shows how the total number of pieces Fareed knows how to sing depends on the number of weeks he takes voice lessons. So here again, x is the number of weeks, y is the number of pieces. What is the constant of variation? So we're going to go ahead and answer that. I need another sheet of paper though, so hold on. Well, never mind. I decided not to get another piece of paper. I just decided to use the same one. So we're going to use the same formula. Y is equal to k multiplied by x, where k is the constant that we are looking for. We're going to pick an ordered pair from this graph. So let's see, we're not going to pick this one because it doesn't cross over the actual gray portion or the T portion. We're going to pick something that crosses over. I think that's a good one. So that would be ordered pair 4, 3. So I'm going to use ordered pair 4, comma 3. 4 is the x, 3 is the y. And then I'm going to use my y equals kx and simply substitute. So y equals k multiplied by x. Y is 3. K we don't know. X is 4. Again, if it looks weird to you, just write it. 3 equals 4k. We're going to divide by 4 on both sides of the equation. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So therefore, k is equal to 3 over 4. That would be our answer if they ask for a fraction form, but since they ask for it in decimal form, think about this, quarters. So if you have 4 quarters, you have $1. If you have 3 quarters, you have 75 cents. So we can just write 0.75. All right, we're going to look at a third example. This graph shows how the number of flowers Jeanette can have in her garden is related to the number of seed packets she purchases. So here are X values, the number of seed packets. Output, or Y, is total number of flowers. What is the constant of variation? We're going to just keep doing the same thing over and over again. We know that Y is equal to K, which is the constant, and that's what we're trying to find. Let's pick an ordered pair. Let's pick ordered pair 2, 5. 2 is the X, 5 is the Y. Replace Y and X, so Y is now 5 is equal to K multiplied by 2. Rewrite it if you need to. So that's 5 is equal to 2K. Divide by 2 on both sides of the equation. Therefore, K is equal to 2. That would be your answer. All right, let's look at the next one. Number 4. This graph shows how the total number of postcards Grayson buys is related to the number of days he spends on vacation. X, days on vacation. Y, number of postcards. What is the constant of variation? We're going to do Y is equal to K multiplied by X. Pick an ordered pair. Let's do 10, 20. 10 is the X, 20 is the Y. Replace the values, so 20 goes in place of Y, equals K multiplied by 10. Rearrange it if you need to. 20 is equal to 10K. Divide both sides by 10. K, therefore, is equal to 2. This is an integer because there's no fractional part. Now, you may come across some money, so it's very important that you answer in dollars and cents, like this following example. This graph shows how the amount of money Luther makes from selling lemonade is related to the number of cups sold. So here we have our X, number of cups sold. The output is the total amount of money that we make based on the number of cups sold. So what is the constant of variation? Y is equal to K multiplied by X. Pick your ordered pair. I'm going to pick 1, 2. So 1, 2. 1 is X. 2 is Y. Replace 2 for Y is equal to K multiplied by 1. Or you could say 2 is equal to K. And there you have it. All right, so on this example, it's gone from giving you a graph where you pick the ordered pair to a word problem. So it says, Shelby baked 22 cakes with 22 eggs. Another day she baked 38 more cakes with 38 eggs. How many cakes can be made with 1 egg? In other words, what is constant about her baking cakes? How many eggs is constant from each cake to each cake? So we do the same thing. Y is equal to K multiplied by X. Well, we have an ordered pair. She bakes 22 eggs, which is the input, and she gets out 22 cakes. So we would write our ordered pair as 22, 22, and replace like we did before. So 22 equals K multiplied by 22. Rewrite it if you need to. 22 is equal to 22K. Divide by 22 on both sides of the equation. Therefore, K is equal to 1, meaning the number of eggs that she needs to use per cake is 1. Here we have a table. So I'll work with this one, and this will be the last one that I do in R2. The table shows how money Stanford Middle School spends on how much money. Let me try this again. This table shows how the money Stanford Middle School spends on workbooks is related to the total of number of workbooks that they buy. So our X is the total number of workbooks. Our Y is the money they spend. So again, you're still using constant of variation, and you have your X and your Y. So right here, this is my ordered pair. 2, 30, X, Y. I'm going to move over here since I'm running out of room. So I'm going to put 30 in place of Y. K multiplied by 2. Rewrite if you need to. So 30 is equal to 2K. Divide by 2 on both sides of the equation. Therefore, K is equal to 15. So they spend $15 on their books. All right, stay tuned for the next one.